Yes. Yeah, morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right?
Yes, sir. We can
Yeah.
hear you.
Fine, thank you. So why Azure data engineer? Previously, I was saying, right, there was no data engineering role because previously we used to say ETL developer, role of data engineer, differences between this data engineering and other things, and data engineering products and services and job market of Azure data engineer. So just I'll take 5 minutes what we had introduction yesterday, right? So we had introductory session yesterday, right? Cloud, everything we'll be dealing here in cloud. The cloud premises, right? Cloud is majorly utilized for storing data, analyzing data, and delivering data in various forms. So data engineer, with the help of all these cloud services, is going to work with the data and make it structured and useful. Either you go with any data related, whether it is data engineer or data science or data analyst, right? Everything they deal with the data only. With the data only, they will perform, right? So data has got experience, data has got future reference using this data, right? They perform different things. If you talk about a data scientist, data is going to perform data analysis, data predictions, data recommendations, data classification, data clustering, data recommendation is going to perform. So here data engineer doing data management, data storage and data processing, right? What is the work of data engineer, right? Data management. But data scientist, data analysis is doing. Data scientist and the data analyst perform analysis on the data. But here data engineer, not analysis on the data, is data management it does, right? Data extraction, data transformations, data filtering, data merging, data grouping, all this cleaning data and loading data. All this ETL, extract, transform, and load. Extracting the data from different sources, transforming the data as per the requirement, and loading the data. ETL process it does, data engineer. So previously we see like on-premises, right, as compared with the cloud premises. On-premises, right? So we need to set up your own hardware infrastructure OA on the top of that OS installation, purchasing database license, installation of database servers, and designing of database objects. If you want, you are going with on-premise, right, you need to do all this. To maintain all this, again, we require separate teams for this installations, a hardware team, for operating system OS operating system team, for networking team, security team, data administrators. But if you go with the cloud, here everything in the cloud, no need to maintain all this. No need to maintain any infrastructure, everything in the cloud side, everything within the cloud side, right? Yes. So here data engineer responsible for smooth data flow from the source to the destination. Once from the source to the target, data engineer responsible for preparing the data, for cleaning or cleansing the data, transforming the data, processing the data. As compared with the data scientist, it's going to strategizes for the future. Data scientist strategizes for the future. Data analyst summarizes the past. So data scientist is going to analyze the data, identify the patterns, recommendations for the future. Data scientist. This data analyst summarizes the past and analyze the data and visualize the data. The difference between this data engineer, scientist, and analyst. So data engineer does all the groundwork for the data scientist and analyst, because who is going to extract the data for all this? Data engineer extracts the data from the different sources. After extracting the required data, I need to filter. Yes. Loading, everything, the groundwork is done by the data engineer. More than 80% of this work is done by data engineers. Data engineering involves what are the sources of data, what is the format of the data, how to transform data, and what is the destination of the data. What is the destination of the data, right? Why Azure data engineering is in demand today? why Azure data engineer is required, why Azure data engineer is in demand, right? The role of Azure data engineer, he has got many roles. If you take any organization, right, wants to increase the business revenue, right? So they are going to hire two people mainly, Azure data engineer and data scientist will be the two main people, right, in an organization. Data engineer is going to create a data warehouse for storing all this data, means it stores all this and make the data structured and you can query the data. Yes. And later the data scientist is going to perform some analysis on this. So the main role of Azure data engineer, how the data is flowing, entire data flow architecture designing, creating data warehouse for the storing of analytical data, extracting ETL, extract, transform, and load. That is one of the key tasks of Azure data engineer, right? Extracting data from different sources, transforming it and loading into the company's storage service for further evaluation by the data scientists. Data monitoring is also one of the key steps, right? Data monitoring means ETL is to be performed in a proper way. Data is available anywhere, everywhere where it is required. Data security, right? Data means data should be secured at each step of this process without any data leaks or data exposures. Collaboration and communication, generally communication with the business team to check if the team needs some data insights, and also collaboration with the data scientist to deliver the data as per their requirements. Analytics, sometimes some kind of analytics knowledge to perform this analysis, and also some certain things has to be automated. So these are the main tasks, main roles of Azure data engineer. If I talk about this data engineering products or services, so what are the cloud service we get for this data engineering side, which will be mostly used in our pipelines? Azure SQL is a simple, we can say like a simple RDBMS database for OLTP, online transactional processing. Azure Data Lake is a kind of file system storing files, data in the form of files. Azure Synapse Analytics, it is for data warehousing, for big data operations, for analytics, for batch processing, for batch applications, right? Azure Data Factory, right? Simple. It's a cloud-based ETL, cloud ETL, you can say. Just like Informatica, like we have got these things, right? Similarly, that is on-premise, but in the cloud premise, I want some ETL that is nothing but Azure Data Factory. Here, no coding involved in this area. Everything drag and drop, 100%. Azure Databricks is Apache Spark-based data analytics platform. Azure Cosmos DB, the NoSQL database. The two cloud-based NoSQL database. Azure streaming high volumes of streaming data. That is capturing high volumes of streaming data from multiple sources simultaneously. Azure Key Vault, securing the data in the cloud. The Azure SQL, I was saying the same thing, Azure Data Lake, right? It's a repository for large varieties of structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data. Fine. If I talk about this data lake, every data lake, cloud data lake provides some benefits. Every cloud data lake provides some benefits. First one, like unlimited data storage here. Unlimited data storage. Secondly, supports all varieties. Supports all varieties of data, structured data, semi-structured and unstructured data. Structured data like DB database tables, Excel files, semi-structured data, right? Yes. Unlimited data storage is one advantage of this Azure Data Lake, and supports all varieties of data, structured, unstructured, and semi-structured. Supports all formats. Supports all formats of data. All formats of data means any file format. Can be a CSV file, .csv file format, or .txt format, or .parquet format, or .parquet format, .zip format, any format, right? Yes. But here data lake is there. Here data in files. Here data in files. Understand? Data in files. If it is in the files, means we cannot set up relationship. We cannot set up relationships. Between the files. We cannot set up the relationship between the files. If data in the tables, okay. If data in the tables, we can set up relationship using primary key and foreign key. Understand here? If data is in the files, we cannot set up any kind of relationship. But if data is in the tables, we can set up relationship. So if I got like emp.txt is there, dpt.txt is there, attendance.txt is there. For example, some files are there. Salaries.txt is there. Can you maintain any relationship between these if they are files? No. If you have tables, for example, orders table, sales transaction is one more table. Sales transaction is one more. Customers, products. So we can maintain relationship. Order of what? Order of what? A product. A product. Booked for whom? Booked for whom? A customer. Once order confirmed. Once order confirmed. So here, order of what? This is order of what? A product. Booked for whom? A customer. Once that order confirmed, it is a sales transaction in this way. So what I'm expecting here? So I'm expecting a cloud or DBMS. So I'm expecting a cloud or DBMS. That too used for data warehouse. That too used for data warehouse. That too I'm expecting. That too I'm expecting parallel processing. That too I'm expecting parallel processing. That is nothing but Azure Synapse. There is nothing but Azure Synapse. So what I'm expecting, a cloud or DBMS. The two for data warehouse kind of operations. The two parallel processing. Azure Synapse, right? Just I'll go back to this. Yesterday, just we had a discussion with this Azure Synapse. I'll bring it here. So for the files, we cannot maintain relationship. That's why we are expecting data warehouse kind of environment. Right. So what is that? Azure Synapse for data warehousing, for big data operations, for analytics, for batch processing, for parallel processing. So here we have a database. Here we have a database called Azure Synapse. Azure Synapse SQL Pool DB, right? Simply we say Synapse DB. Simply we say first. So it is okay. This for data warehousing, for big data operations, for all this. If you come to this Azure Data Factory, right? It is a cloud-based ETL of Microsoft in Azure Cloud. It is a zero coding ETL. For example, OLTP systems, online transactional processing systems. And another side, we have got a data warehouse. Data warehouse means stores historical data. But take examples of OLTP systems. As part of Azure SQL, we have got. And if we talk about on-premises, we have got many like Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, right? MongoDB, right? Azure SQL, Oracle, MySQL, SQL Server, MongoDB. Here, Azure Synapse, right? And if we talk about the on-premises, we have got many on-premises data warehouse like Teradata, Netezza, Vertica. So these are all this. Azure Synapse is there, here Azure SQL is there. But ADF comes under this OLTP or data warehouse? No. ADF doesn't come under OLTP. Data warehouse. It is an integration service. It is an integration service. So where the data, this ADF comes means here. Here it comes, ADF. It acts as an integration service between this OLTP and data warehouse. It is an integration service between OLTP systems and data warehouse. Data warehouse systems. All transactions, if we talk, all transactions are captured at this OLTP systems. OLTP systems, right? How to bring these transactions into warehouse system? We have ETL. We have ETL, right? Yes. How to bring this transaction? So here, OLTP systems are there. Generally, all the transactions are captured, right? All these transactions are captured at this OLTP system. Right. How to bring it means we have ETL. We have ETL by using ETL tools. By using ETL tools. ETL tools like Informatica, Data Stage, Talend. We have ETL by using ETL tools, Informatica, Data Stage, Talend. But these all these are on-premise. All these are on-premise ETL tools. All these are on-premise ETL tools. But I need an ETL on cloud. That is what ADF. That is what ADF. Using ADF, we can connect with the cloud databases, non-cloud databases, NoSQL databases. We can extract data and pump the data into data lake and Synapse and perform transformation. Here it is ETL. Here it is ETL. But our working style ELT is ELT. Extract, load, and transform. Generally ETL. For small volumes of data. ELT. For small volumes of data, ELT for huge volumes of data. For huge volumes, ETL is bad. ELT, extract, load, and transform. See, previously there are some versions available in ADF. So mostly in this Azure Data Engineering, first component what we'll be discussing, the first thing we'll be discussing is ADF. ADF, no coding involved here. Everything is drag and drop, right? So, but if we see ADF version 1 and version 2 difference, lot of difference you observe, right? In ADF version 1, you need to have a lot of knowledge on different other things. But in ADF version 2, no knowledge, no prerequisites, right? So if I compare this ADF version 1 and version 2, ADF version 1, ADF version 2, ADF version 2, version 1 is not supported now. Only like we should go with version 2. Version 2. If I talk about this ADF version 1, it is used to perform EL, not ETL, EL only, but not ETL. Not ETL means because it means there are no built-in transformations. There are no built-in transformations facilities in version 1. To perform transformations there, in version 1, to perform transformations, some additional services. Some additional services required, such as first one like ADLA, right? ADLA means Azure Data Lake Analytics. Azure Data Lake Analytics. It is available. It is available on Azure Data Lake Analytics. It is available only for generation. Azure Data Lake Analytics. Here analytics are done by. Analytics are done. I'm talking about idea version 1. You use a lot of other things you need to have, but version 2, anyone can update. Here analytics are done by USQL. What is this USQL? USQL. Unified Structured Query Language. It is not equivalent to basic SQL. It is not equivalent. It is not equivalent. Basic SQL, no. Secondly, you need to have, first thing, you need to have the knowledge about Azure Data Lake Analytics. Second thing is you need to have knowledge on HD Insights. HD Insights. HD Insights means Hadoop Insights. Some big data Hadoop framework. A big data Hadoop framework in Azure Cloud. It's called as HD Insights. Here we have a data flow. Here we have a data flow called Apache Pig. Here we have a data flow language called Apache Pig. At each pipe, different transformations. A data flow language called Apache Pig. Using Pig, this data flows. Data flow means collection of pipes. At pipe 1, data extraction. At pipe 2, data cleaning. At pipe 3, data creating new fields. At pipe 4, filtering. At pipe 5, aggregations. At pipe 6, writing output to the target. Here we have data flow language called Apache. Using Pig, this data flows. And transformations are performed. Means I'm saying that if it is in version 1, you need to have the knowledge about this HD Insight. You need to have the knowledge about Apache Pig. Pig is one of the best scripting language, right? With very less coding, right? 100 lines of Java code you can write within 6 to 7 lines here using this Pig Latin language. And you need to have the knowledge about one more, like Azure functions. And these Azure functions are complex to implement. They are very complex to implement. And apart from this, you should also, okay, about Databricks. Stored procedures. First thing is to perform transformations. To perform transformations, you should be a developer first. You should be a developer first. That too, you should be expert in writing USQL scripts, USQL scripts. Secondly, big scripts, Azure functions, Databricks, stored procedures. Generally, USQL, okay, big by Hadoop developer. Databricks, generally big scripts by Hadoop developer, Databricks by Spark developer, Azure functions, right? Done by the complex code by .NET developer. Stored procedures by SQL developer. So you should be expert in this, right? All this Hadoop developer, like writing big scripts, Azure functions by .NET, Azure Databricks by Spark developer, stored procedures, right? By SQL developer. This is problem with area version 1. This is a problem with area version 1. Afterwards, Microsoft Microsoft recognized this problem. You guys recognize this problem? Recognize this problem, right? Yes. Afterwards, Microsoft recognized this problem, right, and decided to make a ETL, with zero coding, That's why they launched a new version 2. Microsoft recognized this problem and decided to make a ETL tool with zero coding. They launched a new version, right? ADF version 2. ADF version 2. ADF version 2, right? Is a zero coding ETL. It is zero coding ETL. But style is ELT. The style is ELT. Because of this zero coding only, right? So it is widely used today. Even it can process multiple terabytes of data with a great speed. So previously, if you talk just like Informatica, if you have got knowledge on this Informatica, in Informatica, 80% drag and drop. Here, totally zero coding, totally drag and drop, and it just will provide some configurations, right? Drag and drop. And 20% writing SQL script. Writing SQL scripts. Right? So ADF is a zero coding ETL. Nothing, no prerequisites for it. Everything drag and drop will perform this transformations, creation of pipelines, all this we do. And also powerful in version 2, ADF version 2. In ADF version 2, data flows are introduced. Data flows are introduced. With inbuilt transformations. With inbuilt transformations. And also in ADF version 2, Power Query is introduced. Just like in Power BI we use, right? Like Power Query is introduced. Right? We no need to perform, not to write any code here, everything drag and drop. So yesterday I was briefing you about these things, right? 1 second. As part of our course. So like Databricks is the main thing in this data engineering, right? In Azure data engineering, Databricks, because total your execution weapon here is Spark, Apache Spark, very high speed processing with a high rate of speed, 100 times faster than normal disk processing. It has got in-memory features like in-memory computation features, MPP, massive parallel process, because of which it has got a great demand today. with Apache Spark. We discussed like PySpark. Azure Streaming Analytics, it is an event processing engine for analyzing and processing high volumes of streaming data from multiple. And Cosmos DB, it's a cloud-based NoSQL database like MongoDB, but it is here in the cloud key vault. So as part of the course, this is the thing we'll be discussing Azure Data Engineering, right? Within that, mainly, first we'll discuss Azure Data Factory. Next, Azure Databricks. Also, you'll be getting knowledge on this PySpark. PySpark is a hot cake in the market today. And Azure Synapse Analytics. This is the thing which mainly we discussed. Azure Synapse, Azure Databricks, Azure Data Factory, and PySpark. Apart from that, you'll also get knowledge on this Azure SQL database, Azure Data Lake for file system, and Azure Cosmos DB, NoSQL, and Azure Streaming, right? You'll be getting knowledge on this. So ADF, I said already, there is no prerequisites, right? Anyone can update, zero coding. When you've got jobs on this, lot of jobs on this ADF you've got. But if we go as a ADF, you can get job, but if you go for salary packages, Databricks with PySpark has got huge salary packages. You can check it, right? You can open Google and check for this. Just to say ADF jobs. Lot of jobs for ADF. 2,459 ADF job vacancies in February. You can see like the data engineering, data factory jobs. Okay. And not only this Azure data engineering jobs, ADF jobs, as a ADF developer, you can go see here after completing this course, right? As a ADF developer, you can go. As a Databricks developer, you can go. As a PySpark developer, you can go. And as a Synapse, even you can see a lot of, you can just check Azure Synapse jobs, you can check Azure Databricks jobs, you can check PySpark jobs, you can check data engineering jobs, right? So you'll be getting the great command on this apart from this services. So the duration for this will be 3 months for this entire thing, right? Duration will be 3 months. Okay. So you'll be getting this session video of each and every session of all this, soft copy of this class notes, clear notes, right? Everything will be a WhatsApp group for technical discussions, or if you get any errors, you can take snaps and post in that WhatsApp group, assignments and tasks and the case studies, right? Interview questions and resumes. All the sessions will be interactive sessions, right? So as of now, it's starting at 10 or 10 a.m., right? But the timings of this batch starts at 9 a.m. from tomorrow. From tomorrow, it's going to be starting at 9 a.m. as I said, right? And tomorrow the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled to get the link. So once you can check this course content, right? In brief, we'll be discussing about this data factory, Databricks, PySpark, and Synapse Analytics. Some data factories, pipelines, creations, link to services, data sets, working with different file formats, RAW files, binary, Excel, JSON, XML, right? Different types of activities in this data factory, triggers, scheduled based, storage based, tumbling based, integration runtime, data flows, mapping data flow, transformation, different types of transformations, SCD slowly changing dimension, SCD type 1, type 2, right? And nearly 50 practical exercises I'll be discussing, right? You can check all the 50 practical exercises I'm going to discuss. And coming to this Azure Databricks, before I go with Databricks, you will be given knowledge on this big data, Hadoop, some knowledge on this big data, Hadoop, Spark, this cloud computing, right? And coming to this Azure. Introduction to Azure Databricks, service with Azure CLI, users, adding users and groups to the workspace, creating cluster management, and creating a cluster, deleting a cluster information, cluster logs, with pools, without pools, Databricks, cluster mode, Databricks utilities, integration with these different storages, Databricks working with multiple file formats, Databricks batch processing, streaming API, Lakehouse, Delta Lakehouse, and Delta tables creations, workflows in Databricks, and Azure Synapse. You can just check this Azure Synapse also in brief. Apart from this, I said also you'll be getting knowledge on this Azure SQL, Data Lake, Cosmos, and Streaming. So in brief, you'll be getting this knowledge, right? So today, if we see the job opportunities for this Azure Data Engineering, it's one of the high-paying jobs. Azure Data Engineering is one of the high-paying jobs as equal to the data scientist. So data scientist and data engineering jobs have got top two high priority jobs today with huge packages, especially for this data engineering, right? 1.5 times you can see the salary packages more than the other technologies, right? The same way they'll be expecting the skills from you. So as part of this, we'll be discussing everything in brief. You'll be actually getting all the skills and get through the interview process. So, okay. If you see the job market also, you can just check in the Google, right? The jobs for this ADF, Databricks, data engineering, right? Major companies, everything, they are adopting Azure today. Regularly, they have requirement for professionals who work on Azure and handling huge data, big data. And there's and even companies like Facebook, Intel, Microsoft, all are interested in hiring data engineers with a great salary packages. All right. Any queries from your side, anyone? So tomorrow the link will be changing. You are supposed to get enrolled in the chart. You can see in the chart, right? In the Zoom chart, a big message is given by this online team, the payment process and the procedure, right? They have given their contact details. Any queries, you can contact them. And there is a mail ID provided. Once you're done with the enrollment process, don't forget to share the screenshot of your payment to that mail ID that is provided. The account details, the pay, Google Pay or Phone Pay details, and this ADA content, ADF content. If anyone have missed yesterday session, the link for the yesterday session is given. The demo video link is given, right? From tomorrow, you will be getting the videos to your Google Drive. Notes, you will be receiving soft copy of the notes, and a WhatsApp group will be created tomorrow. You will be added to the WhatsApp group. And this ADF drag and drop, these tasks, all this, if you want to do parallelly, you can do parallelly along with me. It's a hands-on. It's all sessions are interactive sessions, I said. At any point of time, you can unmute yourself. You can ask through voice, right? The queries. And for this task, when we're performing tasks, you'll be responding, right? What will be the output? Right. Right. Any other queries apart from this?
So from tomorrow only means there will be practical sessions also be there. Means by creating subscription on the ADF side and everything, you will be showing by tomorrow only, right?
Yeah, tomorrow I'll be talking about that ADF building blocks.
Uh-huh.
There's some building blocks I need to discuss, like pipelines, activities, data set,
Okay.
something I'll be discussing on it. Day after tomorrow, I'll be showing you the subscription, how to get the free subscription for the Azure, how to create resource for this different things for the area, for Azure SQL, for all, how to create the resources for each and every component, right? How to create ADF, how to create Azure SQL, how to create this data lake, right? Day after tomorrow, just I'll be talking about the building blocks of ADF. Day after tomorrow, I'll be going with the practical first. Everything will be practical, right? There was no theory at all.
Okay. And there are the subscription for Databricks and Synapse also, right? So that also part you will be covering,
Yeah.
or it's in one only.
See, 1 second. Subscription, Azure is providing free subscription, right? Some
Yes.
services free for
Mm.
lifelong, some services are free for 1 year, some are free for 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
Okay.
whenever you take Azure subscription, Azure is providing nearly 16,000 credits. It's going to provide, you can use it within 1 month. For any resource or anything, if you want to, right, you can use that for those things, right? Once
Mm.
1 month completed. So how to get that? I'll be discussing that with the minimal charge, very, very minimal charge, right? How to work with this Azure services, I'll be discussing. So for your practicing purpose, how you can perform, right?
Mm.
How we can do the things, I'll be showing you with very, very less minimal cost, right? But one thing, if you directly create without having the knowledge,
Mhm.
you just open that portal and keep it. Just after 3-4 days, thousands of rupees will be charged. So that's why
Okay.
you need to have some knowledge on that for how we can perform with a very, very minimal charge. How do we work with? What things you need to delete from that after working, after doing that, and after next, it just hardly takes 2 minutes to recreate the thing. Which things you need to delete, which things you need to keep it. Your data remains as it is, but only the things which you need to delete, so that only hundreds of rupees will be charged. Okay. And for Databricks, everything, the Synapse, everything I'll be discussing, right? With minimal charge, how we can. Minimal charge means not even goes to hundreds.
Mhm. Okay.
Uh,
And
Sir, will you cover the Python and SQL in this course?
see Python, see before I go with Azure Databricks, see for PySpark, you need to have the basic Python knowledge, right? So I'll be covering the syntaxes of Python. I'll be taking a session, right, covering the syntaxes of Python.
Okay.
So Python syntaxes are not that much complex, look like normal English statements. While during the practical part, I'll be saying, otherwise before that, starting with this Databricks, I'll be giving the syntaxes of this Python before we go, right, the practical part, right?
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
So all this I said already, if you take as a package, it is this entire thing given as one a package for you, as a data engineering package, right? Apart from this also. But generally, if you go separately, right, each one is 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 24,000 for this. But entire package, it is given for 12,000. All this, right? All these are going to be discussed for 12,000. Fine. So tomorrow we'll be starting with the actual things at 9 o'clock. It starts at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Fine. So get enrolled for getting all these notes, videos. Yes. Fine.
Yes.
So if I'm done with the queries, if there are no other queries, I'll sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, fine, at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.